Well, me and my dad chose freedom. You see the thumbnail? Tyranny or freedom. That's what it is in the UK. It's tyranny. It's communism. It's the state controlling you. It's unbelievable what's happening to the country. It's so sad. It's so sad that we have to go halfway around the world to feel a sense of freedom. Why did we leave the UK? We left the UK because we could see it going downhill. We were frustrated daily watching the news and watching the narrative that was being spun, and you felt like you couldn't talk. You felt like you'd lost your freedom of expression, almost, because it almost feels like a dictatorship. And it's felt like that for a long, long time. Before this government, this one just seems to have accelerated the agenda of, wokeism and all of that BS. So for me, it was a no-brainer to leave. When COVID happened, it felt like that was a test to see what they could get away with. How far could they push us? How far could they control us if they spun the right narrative? I mean, traditionally it was religion that was used to control masses of people. Once that stopped working, it was like global warming. And then when it wasn't getting hotter, they said, we'll call it climate change, then we can't be wrong. So then that won't working either. It would work for a small demographic of people, but that won't working either as a control mechanism. This is just my take on it, So then it became, then we had a global pandemic, and then it was about safety, people's safety and caring for others, when it came to the vaccine and stuff. So that, to me, felt way too much like a test. And that's when my mind was made up that at all costs we would leave the UK. Forget about the budget that's happened this week. It just reiterates. It just makes me realize I made the right decision. I've never seen in my lifetime a government lie so much, and I've never seen so many people be brainwashed. I mean, how can you support it? It blows my mind. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. It's really sad. It's really sad. I mean, I left the UK when Blair was in power because I didn't like what was happening then. I didn't like what was happening with the Iraq war and all of that stuff. I didn't like how we were handing over control to other entities. So here we are, we're in Thailand. I hear a lot of people moaning that it's very hard to get a visa, or, you know, there's so many requirements, and, you know, they're stamping down on people doing visa runs and all of that. And good on them. That's what I say. Good on them. It's such a great country with such rich culture. You've got to protect it. And that's what they're doing. And if you don't abide by their rules, you're out or you're in jail. So, yeah, I take my hat off to them. I wish the UK was a bit more like that. We've lost our identity, you know. And anyone that talks about our identity is labelled either racist or whatever, you know. It's just, it's bizarre to me. It's beyond frustrating. So to then come here and just people, the one thing you ask people when it comes to Thailand and say, it's just a sense of freedom, like, is overwhelming. And we feel it more because we've come from the UK. It's mad, isn't it? It's mad that our country is absolutely broke, yet we find money to send to help other countries. It's almost like, you know, we've all had that one mate who tries to be something they're not, and they're living beyond their means, you know. And that's what it feels like in the UK. It feels like, oh yeah, we're this big power, you know. You know, we're this powerhouse of a country. Yeah, we'll help you. You know, we're borrowing, begging, and stealing so that we can say, look at us. We're the first world. We're helping the third world. When in actual fact, the UK for me right now feels more third world than it does first world. And British people are just put last. It blows my mind. How can anyone defend what's happening? How can anyone defend what's happening? And, you know, I have people say to me, you know, well, you've left. Why can't other people come to your country? Well, yeah, I have left, but I'm bringing value to this country. I'm spending my money here. I'm abiding by the rules. I respect their culture. I don't try and manipulate their culture or anything, or get them to change it, or virtue signal to them. I live within the bounds of their cultural rules, laws, and all of that stuff. And I'm more than happy to do that. And you know, because I love it. My dad feels the same. So, just feels like the West is done for, you know? So that's the reason. That's the main reason why we left the UK and didn't hang around. Sad, isn't it? Very sad. It's funny, actually, because you hear it so often in the UK. You know, people being labelled racist, and people saying, "Oh, well, that's racist. You can't say that." You don't hear anyone say anything about racism or anything. Yeah, nothing. It just doesn't exist because people don't talk about it. I see an interview with Morgan Freeman, the famous actor, once, and he said, you know, he's been interviewed and was talking about racism and Black Lives Matter and all of that stuff. He said, stop talking about it. All lives matter. You know, it's only a colour of skin, isn't it? You know, what difference does it make? You could have purple hair, green skin, and people just get along with you like you're anybody else here. It's such a beautiful country, this. They call it the land of smiles because not just because you're greeted more often than not with people smiling, it makes you smile, more importantly. It certainly makes me smile every day. That's the reason. That's the reason why my life feels so much better now.